Hi guys, bienvenue sur ma channel. My name is Ifeoluwa Ishala. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking and always returning back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome to the family. Please go through some of my videos. If you like the vibes here, click on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about marriages and things that are affecting marriages, like with life abroad. Okay, and this message, or should I say this topic, has been on my mind for a month now, but I haven't been able to film it because of a lot of things that are going on. I just returned back from school. I actually went to upload the vlog that's going to be coming out tomorrow. So by the time you are seeing this video, of course, you would have seen that vlog. So you understand some reason why I had to go to school to upload that. And while I was on my way back, I met someone in the bus and we started a conversation, and it actually steered towards talking about the life abroad, breaking marriages and things like that. And it all came back to me afresh again, the fact that I've been having this burden in my heart to address this topic for so long, but I've not been able to address it because of a lot of things that have been going on. So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to do this today. I'm not sitting down, I'm standing filming this video, but I just want to get it done with and be able to pass the message across to help as many of us that are actually living outside our country, or many people that are coming, or probably you're here already and you're probably experiencing some of the difficulties and things that I might be mentioning, just to help you to be able to scale through this time or this phase or whatever it is that is going on. So yes, I mentioned I'm going to be talking about how the abroad life is affecting marriages, and trust me, we've heard a lot in social media, and let me just say it out to you that things we hear in social media, these things are not made up. They are actually happening because I've had cause to interact with people that I know happened to directly, and some that probably it happened to a friend and then she got to know and something like that. And somebody might be like, oh, what's going on? What have been going on in social media? It's no longer news that, a lot of people, why do I sound like a reporter? Like, it's no longer news that, marriages are being strained with the kind of lifestyle that he's here in the abroad, something that is outside your country, something you aren't used to. And, I wouldn't just come here to just talk off head knowledge. Of course, I had to interact with as many families as I can, those that are willing to give me access and things like that. And some things I've been able to compile, like I think I'm going to be talking just about 3 points because I really do not want this video to be too long and I'm hungry. Yeah. So one thing I've noticed to have been, should I say, the major issue is the fact that system has changed. Okay, the way of life has changed. You were leaving your country. I wouldn't know where you're coming from, but you're living whatever part of the country. You're coming into a new place where the way they see marriage is different. Okay, now the first time we arrived here, I find it funny that they no longer attend to people in families, if you get what I mean. They just believe you're two adults in the relationship, so you have to be responsible for yourself, and not a thing of saying, oh, because they are now joined together, they are one, so we treat them as one. No, they still believe that you have your own person, you have your own you're your own person, like you're your own figurehead, if you get what I mean. But coming from a place like Nigeria, I'm a Nigerian, and I'm going to be talking more about that because I'm more familiar with the way marriage works in Nigeria. Coming from a place in Nigeria where we see family as one, we see it as something together. Anything that concerns me concerns my husband. Anything that concerns my husband concerns me as well. But here it's more like them treating it differently. And then you tend to see them being so inquisitive or curious when you're talking too much about your spouse. I've had instances where probably some of my colleagues at work, we get talking and I'm usually making reference to my husband because I don't have any other person. So I'm constantly making reference to him, and the guy had to ask me something and be like, is your husband dominating? Is he authoritative? You always talk about him. You can't say a sentence without talking about him. Now I felt like, if I've heard somebody saying that, what I would have thought is, oh my God, they're so close knitted, oh, they carry themselves along and things like that. But coming to a place where they feel like you talking about that person means you don't have a life, Everything about you is pertaining that person. So they don't just see it as an issue. And that's where the selflessness come in. So I would want to agree that the way marriages is run here is running more like a selfish state. Everybody put themselves first. They put themselves first before their partners, and that is why they do not have that time to want to work in marriages. And that you come from a place where we are selfless in our relationship, you no longer think about yourself, you're thinking about your spouse. Whatever decision you want to make, you're thinking about your spouse. How is it going to affect him? How is it going to affect her? What if people hear this is what I want to do, and things like that? But then in this place, cannot bother. It's literally, I'm a grown person, I'm a grown adult, I made a decision, and it's my decision, you understand? But in a place like Nigeria where you cannot make that decision without actually having an input of your husband, that doesn't make your spouse authoritative, that doesn't make your spouse dominating. It just means that you value each other's opinion and you're willing to take suggestions and everything like that. So that place of selflessness interchanging with selfish heart tend to come in, and then you come in here and you think that, oh, things you effortlessly do while you were back home, you no longer do them because you tend to now see marriage as he should be able to cater for himself. I should be able to cater for myself. I mean, I've gone for what? 12-hour shift. He has this and that. I come back. He's not expecting me to cook and things like that. And instead of communicating effectively and be able to build a way around about it, you just come up and say it because you feel like you're in a place where everybody should take care of themselves. But that is not the foundation at which your marriage was built upon while you were living back home. So you can't expect that you were building a bungalow while you were in Nigeria and you get to this place and you see that there's probably space for you to have a skyscraper on the foundation of a bungalow is not going to stand, if you understand what I mean. So whatever foundation you have back home, I know things are bound to make you want to like shake your belief system because of a lot of things. Because trust me, when you start having conversation with some of these people, you tend to want to question yourself. If you're not so strong, if you're not so rigid, they're going to change your mindset. They're going to reshape your head, shape everything about you, and then you start seeing marriage as transactional, which I do not feel it should be, because you now start seeing marriage as is 50-50. If he's not putting me first, I'm not putting him first. Don't get me wrong, I know marriage is working, the both of you have to be willing to work, but at the same time, it's me bringing 100% and the other person bringing 100%. So if I'm constantly thinking about my spouse, definitely I expect he's constantly thinking about me, and that is going to make the marriage work. Another thing that I've noticed as well, I'm sorry guys, I'm just coming from outside, it's freezing. Another thing that I've noticed as well is the fact that in this place there's a system that works where everybody is kind of like responsible for their bills. And I wouldn't blame them as well because I mean if you look at probably how much you're earning and how much actually goes into the house rent, the bills and things like that, one person might not be able to carry this thing comfortably, especially if you're somebody that comes in here and you probably have balance of your tuition to pay, or you have loans that you took back home in your country and you have to start paying back. Of course, you will know that you cannot come and assume the sole provider of the family in a kind of place like this because you have a lot of responsibility. There are a lot of commitments that you have. And then you see families going as far as dividing these things. And then you hear that, okay, for the husband that is probably working full time, your money is going to take care of the house rent and the loan that we're paying back in our home country, or probably saving towards the tuition fee. And then for the wife that works part-time, or either ways, yours might probably go to groceries and bills for the house just to make ends meet. Now, these things as well, I mean, this point, I've seen it cause issues in marriages because a lot of people do not actually have this conversation before leaving Nigeria. And as funny as it might sound, it's a conversation that you need to have. Because if you are thinking that we are coming here, probably as family and things like that, coming here to work and pay the balance of the tuition fee, you need to make that agreement. What percentage are we saving towards that? What will you be contributing? What will you be helping? Is a division of labor. Fine, you might not be used to it back home in Nigeria or wherever country you're coming from. Because I know back home in Nigeria, majority of us have this majority of us have the husband figure taking care of everything, and basically what you do is just you're just spending your money for the extra things in the house. I mean, that's how it happens back home. Back in Nigeria, I never had cause to actually contribute towards anything in the house. It's the thing of my money is my money, is money is our money, you understand? It takes care of all the bills and things like that. But we moved here, we know we have a lot of commitment, and I knew I had to work to be able to support as well. Even though I'm working part-time, the little I'm earning is helping towards bills or groceries, or we just need to step out, we need to take a cab, things like that. Why is always dedicated towards the more bulkier things or weighty things, you understand? Now, a lot of people do not have this conversation, and they get here, and then your ask probably is the wife that is working full time or the husband that is working full time, and you're probably expecting them to pull down their salary probably at the end of the week or at the month, depending how you're being paid, and then that causes issues. And then it comes because I had a story of a couple who the wife was literally telling the husband, like, you never told me I was going to work for you to finish your school. You just said I should come and support you with the house bills. So I'm going to be paying the house bills, but then I'm not going to be putting down all my salary for you to pay your school fees. It sounds funny. It sounds weird. In fact, it sounds absurd. I know some of you might even be thinking, why did she not come along with him? I mean, why are you not here to support this, that? Have that conversation. What are we going to be doing? And I know you might not be used to it back home, but then this is a system where the both of you just need to join hands together to make it work. People literally, even you see couple living as flatmates in this place, I've seen it, where they actually divide bills. Couples. It doesn't work like that in Nigeria. I mean, you see in Nigeria that the husband takes care of all the bills, but here it's more like, let's divide it, let's make it work, okay? So that kind of system as well, I've seen it put off a lot of families, especially those that is the husband that is studying and is the wife that is working full time. It's kind of making it hard at times for the woman to want to put down all the money she has worked probably 60 hours for in a week or something like that, put everything down and then say, okay, just take everything and then let's see how much is remaining, whatever it is you want to give me. It also sometimes does not help with the spirit of pride, because even if you're trying as much as possible to want to be modest, you want to be humble and things like that, there's sometimes that this flesh just come to play. Especially probably you're working during, let's use this winter for example. Now you're going out, your nose is getting freezed, your legs are this and that, the rain is beating you constantly, and you probably work 40 hours because you have tuition to pay, and you get home and then they just collect everything from your account like that, something you aren't used to before. And sometimes it can spark up things that are not even there. It can be a transfer of aggression and the person doesn't even know about it. So I think understanding the kind of system that works here will actually make you prepare your mind to know the kind of armor or whatever shield you want to guard yourself with while you're coming. Another thing that I've also noticed to find is the fact that there are no support system around. And if you notice, some couple of the videos I did, I was constantly making reference to having a community, having somebody that you can rely on. Because trust me, it's not like an individualistic English. The life here is individual based. Okay, everybody is just mind their business. Nobody is concerned whether you're coughing or you're this and that. In Nigeria, it's easy. I mean, especially for people that have kids, it's easy for you to just leave your kids with your neighbors and be like, oh yeah, please let me wow my, you understand? Just let me look after them till I come, or you take them to your sister's place, or things like that. You're not taking them anywhere. Nobody, because everybody is working. Like time is money. So I feel like a lack of support system also help build up the pressure in marriage, especially for those that have kids. And then you see little things that you probably could walk through causing issues as well. So know fully well that even if we're coming here, yeah, we'll have kids. You just have to make your working time. You have to what's it called now? What's that word called? You have to adapt your working time to suit your family. So probably somebody will have to be working morning and somebody have to be working night, just so because somebody is with the kids, or somebody will have to be working 2 days off, 3 days on, something, just something that works around with the kids. And I know that too much of that pressure, too much of that mountain pressure can cause issues in families as well, transferring of aggression, unnecessary anger, things like that. It's not because the other person just decides to just want to be angry today. It's just that some amount of pressure can really get to you that you wouldn't even know when you're going to burst. And to cap it all, I will say learn to communicate well in this place, because it's easier. I mean, I'm going to use myself for an example, right? Like when we were back home in Nigeria, I'm somebody that if I'm getting hungry or something like that, I just keep quiet. And you will probably notice in the way I do things because I'll be walking around more than usual just to make my husband notice. I'm going to be banging the plates and then like that, banging the drawers until he comes around. I'll be like, what's happening? This and that and that. And I usually do not open up on time as well. So it usually takes a lot of pampering and things like that. But we got here, he doesn't even have time. Because, I mean, let's judge it together. Somebody that has gone for a 12-hour shift, he left the house like 6:30 because he had to catch the bus. Then he left the house early. He comes back like 9:30 as well because he had to catch the bus back home. And then you're in the house, called up, hungry, and you expect him to keep asking you why. My guy will just ask me once, what's wrong with you? If I said nothing like this, the guy has gone to bed, eat, sleep. You understand? So this is the time where you need to learn to communicate your words, communicate your feelings with words more articulately. You have to be more like project wherever it is in your mind. Say it. Because literally there's no time to be mopping around. There's no time to be pampering. And it's not because the love has reduced. It's not because they no longer care, but it's because of the way the system works, the fast pace of the society keeps everybody on their feet. So the person who is working 12 hours, working 8 hours, working 10 hours, trust me, that person does not have the time to be babying you, to be asking you what's happening. And sometimes you see it affecting the sexual relationship of partners as well. And I read somewhere, which I've actually confirmed to be true, with some people that I've talked to it and myself, that if somebody has gone a long time without intimacy, without actually having sexual intercourse with their partner, they tend to be angry for no reason. Be thinking about it. That is true, 100%. You just tend to be angry for no reason. You can't even place why you're getting mad. You're just angry, irritated at everything. Everything irks you in the house. You're just, up and down. And then everybody's wondering what's happening to you. And even you yourself, you really cannot place your hand upon it. And that is something that actually led to pressure that has pushed a lot of family over the fence. And you just see them no longer living as couples, but they're just flatmates. Let's shall be living in the same house and let's just, keep paying these bills together and then see how it goes from here. And that's because if you were not communicating, which is going to lead me to the next point, being intentional as well. So if you are not intentionally working on communicating well with your partner, a lot of pressure is going to tip you guys off. Because if you are not communicating very well, I probably want you. You might not just come out to carry placard and say, oh, you probably want some intimate time with your partner or something. Of course, we all have ways at which you communicate this to your partner. I'm not yet come and be teaching you how to do that. You understand? Yeah. We all have the ways at which communicate. But even if probably you're getting the subtle signs from your partner and probably you just came back from work and you're so tired that you know that deep down nothing can come out of yourself that night. Just communicate it clearly to the person, that is to your partner. Let them know that this one, because you'll find out some people just struck their partner off the first night, struck them off the second day, struck them off the third day, a week, 2 weeks, and before you know it, one day, just one day, the partner might just probably supposed to put the key in the foyer and then he went to put it in the bedroom. All the hair will just get loose that day and everybody will be wondering what's happening. And it's because somebody has been sexually deprived. Okay, so if you do not learn to communicate your feelings at times, communicate it clearly. I'm not happy with what you did. Let's talk about this thing and move on. Because there's actually no time to mop around in this place. That's what I've also learned. There's no time to mop around. And if you're somebody that mopping around seems to be like your hobby back home in the country because you have time in your hand, there's luxury of time and things like that, you tend to see that as believing that your partner's love has dropped for you. And it did not drop. It's just the way the system is wired. And another thing which I will talk about, which is going to be the last thing, intentionality. You have to be intentional about keeping your relationship because trust me, it's easy in this place for you to go from being couples to being flatmates. It's so easy. So easy because of how everybody is busy, how fast-paced the environment is, how everybody is on the go. You literally do not have time for yourselves. I mean, look at it. You're working Monday to Friday, right? The other partner is probably working Mondays to Saturday. My husband works on Saturdays. So basically Saturday that I'm home, that he's supposed to be home for us to probably have time, he's going to work. I'm in the house, meal prepping for the week, cleaning the house, picking out clothes for the week. Before you know it, it's Sunday, and probably in your place of worship, you're a worker or you have some assignments, you have some responsibility, and you're taking in a lot of things like that in church. So that means after service, you have meetings, rehearsals, and things like that. And by the time you get home in the evening, you have another engagement, and before you know it, Sunday has gone again. Everybody start again with the Monday, up and down. So if you're not intentionally English. So if you're not intentional about working on just cementing that relationship, both of you, creating time in no time for the both of you to talk. Because if you feel like, okay, where you can talk is to probably have showers together when your husband get back. Because I mean, it works at times. When I know that the only time my husband will talk to me is probably when he's bathing. Even if I've bathed before, I'll still go back in and go and shower just because you have that time to be able to talk, you have that time to be able to just bask in each other's presence, okay? You necessarily don't even have to talk. Probably you just want to hold yourself for a while and things like that. So if probably showering together is one way that you know that you'll be able to spend that ample time together, you might want to start investing on it. Probably eating together, you might want to start investing on it. Probably taking time, extra time of devotion time. You might probably want to take advantage of that as well. Just intentionally working on the fact that we are still couples. So we still have to talk about things that are vulnerable, things that make me vulnerable, things that bring us close, and not just the sacrosanct thing of how much bills are we paying this month? How much is the gas bill? Or have you gotten the bill for this? Or I sent you money for that. Like it's just basically the things that are supposed to be talked about that you guys are constantly talking about. And from gradually you start forgetting that the best color of your partner has changed, or his favorite food has changed, or he no longer loves to listen to social music because you really do not have that time to actually bond. So what I'm going to say is marriages work. It works, okay? It takes work. I know my leg's spinning. It takes work. Both partner coming to say they want to work together. And I know in this kind of a place where we're used to the new system, we're used to the fast pace of society, you're used to being the both of you now being the breadwinner of the family. Things are new, okay? You're coming into a place where people are practically encouraging you to put yourself first. Forget about the spouse. He's going to take care of himself. He's not a small guy. He's a mature adult. He can make his own decisions. They start telling you all these things. And you normally, that you know that this is something you cherish in your family. This is something that holds your family together. That's the foundation at which your home is built. You also decide, we're mature adults. You're not a kid. You should be able to take care of yourself. This is that. And that often leads to disrespect because trust me, whatever it is other people see as disrespect might be different from what is disrespected in your family. You are the only one who understands how you run your family. You are the only one that know what is peculiar to your family. You are the one that know how it is done, where you're coming from. So do not come here and under the basis of, oh, it's a free world. Everybody should make their decision in this place. Everybody is selfish. Cater for yourself first. That is literally the motto here. Cater for yourself first. Every other thing can fall in place. You know that is not how your home was built, where you're coming from. Don't try and deviate from the foundation you have. Don't. Just because of how easy you think things are here, or how people just tend to give you advice and things like that. It's not like they're wishing you bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they want your marriage not to work or things like that, but that is their own values. That's their own belief. That is the way family works in their own society. Now you are there. I know we usually say this word, or when you're in Rome, behave like a Roman. There are some things that you cannot Romanize into your marriage. You just have to be conscious of what keeps you guys together, what makes your marriage different. Because I mean, it's a union of two people, not a union of you and the society, not a union of you and the belief of other people. It's just the both of you, the belief that works for the both of you, what you've built your family on. That is what's going to keep you going. And at the same time, allowing allowances because you're not in a different place. You're not in a system where everybody needs to bring something to the table. And when I mean allowances, is actually contributing to the family. So probably you're not used to contributing to the family back home in Nigeria. I'm not faulting you. But then you are now in a place where there are a lot of responsibility. And trust me, putting that responsibility on just one person, don't kill the man now. It's really not easy. You would actually want to help. So just giving that allowances and knowing fully well that this is a place where every one of us have to bring something to the table. It's no longer a thing of my wife has not cooked. You're home early before the wife. You're just sitting in the house. You are not cooking. Bye. Let me show you. Anyway, guys, I just hope I've been able to make sense. I hope I've been able to pass one or two messages across. Marriages still work, and I want you to believe your marriage will work. Okay, abroad is not going to make your marriage separate or separate the both of you. Instead, take advantage of the things that abroad offers. I mean, a lot of date night things that you can come up with, a lot of beautiful places you can travel to, just to solidify your relationship. Why not take advantage of that and not just take advantage of things that are not going to edify your home or edify your marriage? Anyway, I pray that God will help each and every one of us to continually stay our marriage, because we are working to having a perfect marriage. And can we have a perfect marriage? We can. We only just need to work towards it. And God will continually give us the strength to work, obey Him, listen to Him, and help us to be able to make our marriage work and build that perfect picture that we want to. Not settling for less. We're never going to settle for less in our marriage, because we're light. We have to shine for as an example. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please do want to engage with me in the comment section, and also don't forget to subscribe, share this video for other people as well who might learn one or two things, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.